today we'll be hosting a very special guest that I'm sure you've watched many webinars for before. She is Divya Parekh, number one best-selling international author for 9 times, and she is influence mastery coach. And we're so glad to have you today, Divya. How is everything going at your side?
Doing great. Thank you for having me, Doa.
Divya, I've been really amazed by this new service that you've been launching, and it's all about citations and helping coaches get their citations in like major US channels. I was wowed by the idea, and can you please like explain more on this?
Absolutely. So basically, Doa, what happens is that, when somebody visits your LinkedIn profile, and people like it if you have a good headline, but how do you capture the prospects or even collaborators, or even let's say if you're a job professional, right? Like let's say if you're
Mm-hmm.
looking for a job and
Mm-hmm.
recruiter is looking at your profile, how can people catch, what is there in your
Major
LinkedIn
names.
profile
Yeah.
that will
Yeah.
catch
Major.
that
Yeah.
recruiters or a company person's attention? So basically what we do is that, we give you a form and it's very self-explanatory, where you provide us with your name, in cases of people who are looking for jobs, LinkedIn profile, or for people who have got websites for entrepreneurs, coaches, we request you to give us a website so you can give your website. And then once you fill the form, what we do is we pitch it to national media outlets. And when I'm talking about national media outlets, is there's
Mm-hmm.
so many different outlets out there, and we are affiliated with so many syndicates of like ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, so many different major channels. We pitch your article or we pitch your press release to all of these media
Major.
outlets.
Yeah.
Yeah, the major, these are, we're talking major media outlets in
Major.
US.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like, of course, I mean, you've been there before. I've noticed you have so many major references to these channels. Like, what happened? How did you get there? I'm sure people like just go to your pages on the internet, on your website, and they like, yeah, they want to know how did that happen? I mean, with you, they want to get there too. I'm sure. I mean, it's a big ad to anybody's profile. How did you get there, Divya?
Well, I gotta share that, like for example, this is my, I don't even recall like what is the number of this book, probably 15th book. So it started a few years back, when I started writing books. So as I started writing books, what happens is, when you've written a book, people consider you
Mm-hmm.
as an expert. I started
Yes.
getting attention, and of course, it's about getting in front of the media. And I made an effort.
Hmm.
Things don't happen on their own. You can sit in your office and think, you know what, I've put an article out there and I hope something will happen. So it doesn't happen. You've got to make things happen.
Yeah.
And what we did was, once the books came out, we were getting attention due to books anyway. And then we would take that, let's say if the book has launched, or if you're
Yeah.
launching a new product, or if you're launching a new service, and now if you write about it as to how is it going to resolve the problem of your audience or of your market.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are sharing value, what it does is
Yes.
it gets picked up by, and especially there's a strategy behind it. It will not just get picked up because you kind of put it out there. It's about having those relationships. And as you know, though, I'm big on relationships, having
Hmm.
those relationships with those affiliates of major media outlets and getting cited. So, it was all strategy. And along with strategy, it was tactics, as well as having the right message and the right actions, right relationships. So
Hmm.
it took a lot of things where we are talking about cultivating relationships, not just for one day, 2 days, but for a lifetime. It's about
Hmm.
building a family and
Hmm.
just taking action. And that's
Do,
how it's about building over the years. Because I did not have availability to this service, it took me quite some time, like, quite a few years. And that's why now we are offering these services. So authors just come to us and we do rest of the work, and you get that major notoriety, so to speak, that yes, you have been seen on these major media outlets on web.
So your strategy for any coach to get there and be known and brand their name is to, first of all, number one thing is to have a book, and then number two, where they can still come back to you on that, of course, because like you coach people in writing their own books, don't you?
That is absolutely true. And do I want to share that, this service is not just limited to authors. It can be done. I shared my experience, that I did this with a book. Even if you have a message, what we can do is that, when we give you the form, you can craft your message, you can share it. And then what we can is happening is that, during the process, it will take your message and share it with different media outlets. So for this service, you can be an author, share your book, or you can share your product service, or you can share about yourself. Or if you're a professional, you can have an expertise. So let's say if somebody's working on IT and they've written a paper, so they can just kind of take a piece of it and say that, okay, I was in IT and this is what has happened. I came up with this idea and this is the concept. So this is basically open to anybody, whether you're working in a corporate world or whether you are working as an entrepreneur, coach, consultant, or an author.
So like anything that will help people understand what kind of service they are offering and help them understand them better. That is that thing.
Absolutely. Service or message or book or product or whatever. It has to be something valuable to the market.
So Divya, like what is your take on people who are, or clients who are looking for people with, citations, their names being cited in major channels like this? How does that help them build trust with their coaches?
So I would like to ask you this question. So, okay, I'm showing here these major brands logos. What comes to your mind when you see them?
Excellence, professionalism.
So you answered that. So basically what's happening is that now when you are getting cited on major media outlets, it becomes a brand promotion tool. It's about, you're getting recognized that, okay, this professional. And when we call it as a professional, it's not just for people who are in the corporate world, but entrepreneurs are also professional, that this person is one of the top professionals. And what it does is that, okay, like if it is ABC, you're sitting, you're watching news. And if something comes on ABC, you're kind of like, okay, I want to watch the news because they have built trust over the years. So similarly, what you're doing is when you get cited on the affiliates, because we have relationships with affiliates and syndicates of major media outlets on the web, then if you're good for them, then you're good for your market as well. You're good for your clients. You're good for your partners. You're good for your prospects. So what it's doing is it's establishing credibility and building trust. And know that, people buy from people. And what is the sales cycle? The sales cycle is, okay, first I gotta like you. Let's just kind of take an example that, okay, where do you go for your car services? You go to a mechanic that you have known. You go to a mechanic that you like. You go to a mechanic that you trust. So similarly, it could be a hairdresser. It could be a doctor. Everywhere, folks, you buy services or products from those people that you like, know, and trust. And the best part of that is two best parts. One is like once you have it, you have it for the rest of the life. It's not like, okay, all right, I did this and then some technology changed and now this platform is useless. The credibility and notoriety is such that, it will last you not now, not for 1 year, not for 5 years, but for yours to use wherever you want to use, whether you can use it as a LinkedIn profile picture, you can use it on your website, you can use it in your brochures, you can use it in your media sheet, you can use it on your author sheet, you can use it on your service sheet. I mean, the usage.
Business cards.
Business, yes, there you go.
Yeah. Whenever they're like, doing seminars or whenever they're doing webinars, they just share the logos. By the way, like what are the major channels, Divya, that they will be cited on?
Oh, absolutely. So basically, like, a lot of people ask the question as to who is this for? So it's for small business owner, entrepreneur, coach, consultant, speaker, author, accountant, professional job seeker. And
Hmm.
coming back to your question as to where you're cited is like you're cited on CBS,
Okay.
NBC, Fox, and ABC media affiliate sites, as well as Herald, Ask, and we push your press release to multiple sites
Mm-hmm.
and get you cited on several of the sites. It's just not these four that we are mentioning over here, but we also get you on some radio shows. We also get you
Mm-hmm.
on some different sites. So this is something like, what happens is that when you are doing this, you don't know exactly where you're going to get on. But for
Mm-hmm.
these four, we definitely say that you're going to get on these four major media outlet syndicates.
Yeah.
And we keep on pushing you on multiple channels.
So these major four is plus more, but these are
Yes.
major ones,
Yes.
and they keep this for life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So like they just pay once and they keep it for life.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. Like okay, like when you say we do, who does the work for this, Divya? Like when you say we do all the work, like what, like what do you, like do you do everything from A to Z, or like, and how long does it take you to get somebody cited in all of these channels?
So here's the thing, we have prepared a form which is very simple to use. We walk you through the form. It will ask you to put your company's name if you have one, or you can just put your name. It asks you for your personal name, your
Okay.
picture, a headshot, a high quality headshot that you
Of
send us
course.
separately.
Yeah.
And you have your quote, or you have your summary, you have the title of your 400 words article, and then you write down your 400 words as to whatever it is, whether you want to share a message, or whether you want to share your expertise, whether you want to share your service or product, or your book. And what we do is that once you have completed the form, you send it to us. And then not only one, but like two of our editorial teams will take a look at it, because now we are sending it out to different professional sites, and different professional sites may have different requirements. So
Of
we want
course.
to make sure that your press release will get accepted. And then what will happen is, let's say, in case if there is an issue, we will send it back to you to get your approval.
Mm-hmm.
And once your approval is done, we send it to our media team again, and the media team will upload and into a database along with the addresses and everything for different major media sites and their affiliates websites as well. And then what happens is then, they are marketing your press release to several different sites, and, wherever it gets picked up, we collect the links, and the links are probably live for sometimes 30 days, sometimes for 6 months, but they're not live for all the time. And what happens is that Doa has kindly offered to, like, the major media links, she's going to take a screenshot and send you a really nice report along with the links. So the key is, folks, that you can go check it out. And initially, till the links are live, you can use it in your newsletter. You can use it on LinkedIn profile, Facebook profile, your website, business cards, brochures, banners, your media kit. And along with that, we are going to give you a picture that looks just like this. And think about it. Now, if you put this picture on LinkedIn profile, somebody's visiting your profile immediately. Oh, okay.
Power. It's power.
It's power. This person has been cited on these major media channels. And so, yeah.
So it seems to me like it's a no-brainer, Divya, to go for this service. I mean, any coach who is like a professional, or like, on top of the of the market, or even like on the other side, people who are not known, people who are trying to get there and striving to get there, it makes sense for both ends. Like, these guys need the service, and these guys will also need the service. So it's basically like a no-brainer, really. It's an amazing thing. So So this has been a fantastic orientation, quick, like, walk through this service, Divya. I strongly urge everybody to go to the links that we're going to be having with this webinar and to send us any questions. We'll be more than happy to answer them for you. And good luck with the citation services, Divya, and good luck for our clients who are going to be applying for, or signing up for the service. And do you have anything else to add for our audience today?
Absolutely. A lot of people ask that, oh, is this legit? Is,
Oh yeah, that's an
yeah,
important one.
a lot of times people say, like, there's so many scammers out there that you're like, okay, is it for real? How can, like, we send in something and then you're doing it? So folks, the key is that we have relationships, and it's not about that, we just kind of go and like we take it and then put it out there and it just happens. It's years of relationships that our media team has built with these different sites. And the key is that our editorial team will see that you have a strong message, because if you don't have a strong message, then it will be rejected. So folks, it's about taking people of expertise, people who have value to provide, people who have services that bring value to people. And as you can see, these are very legit, and we have shown here, a couple of screenshots here where you can see the ABC6, which is a major channel, ABC Media affiliate site, and then you can also see the NBC. So folks, yes, you do get cited and you do get these as proofs. And I want to share, like, what happens is, as a part of this, once you have this, it's building more credibility and it gives you momentum. And the reason I'm talking about momentum is I just want to share about myself. So because of, my media thing and my book, my media team was reaching out to different media channels. And recently I got an invitation to be on a local TV channel, WRAL, which is a syndicate of Fox channel. And that was so fantastic, because while I was there, what was surprising was that I did not even tell anybody that I'm going to be on TV, and people were watching and they tagged me on Facebook that, hey, you know what, Divya is on TV. And what happened was, a couple of people reached out to me and said, Divya, oh, you were on TV. So I would like to know how you got there. So folks, I want to make one thing very clear. When we are talking ABC, CBS, NBC, we are not saying that you will get on TV. We are talking about online media outlets, online media syndicated outlets that are affiliated with major media channels, ABC, CBS, NBC. And because I had this on my media sheet, because I had taken action over several years and like just kind of building it, that's how, you just kind of keep on building upon one thing upon another. And as it builds, you develop trust. And out of those two people, actually what happened was, like, one is going to be my client. They signed it up as a client.
Wow.
So basically what happened is it's just creating that ripple effect, because now you're getting known and people are wanting to make connections with you. And it's amazing, like whenever I have a media splurge or whenever, something happens, I get connections, folks. I get at least 8 to 10 connection requests on LinkedIn every single day. And this is, I'm doing nothing. This is all happening organically. And what that does is it's going to lead to more media opportunities. And when it goes for more media opportunities, it's just like building upon each other. So it's really a great way to get started, because we are doing all the work and you are getting the benefit of being seen on major media channels. And then you may ask, like, oh, you know what, this is not for me, I don't want to do it. So the key is that, we only take so many people every month. We take limited number. There are only limited number of spots, because we just can't like take in masses and like, okay, let's put it out there. So if you hear it, and if you're amongst the first few who get it through our eligibility process, and when you become part of our elite group, we will have a questionnaire for which you apply, and then it will give you momentum. And if you don't take action, then it's like an opportunity gone. So folks, it's your choice, and we are here to support you. We are here to take you to the next level so that you are able to gain momentum.
So like eligibility process, because I'm sure people are curious now. It's like based on the strength of their message, Divya.
Yes, so we will have very short questionnaire when people will be seeing this site. Let's say, you are interested. Then what we are going to do is
Which is true.
we have a very short application process. You will be applying, and we'll have to make sure that, what you're providing is something solid before we go ahead and pitch you to the major media sites, affiliates. And once you get selected, you're part of that elite group of people, and you can join us. And I'm sure that, as an expert, you have what it takes to get your message across.
So it's basically your strong relationships with all of these channels, Divya, all of your trust relationships helps you, actually, you and your team, to understand the process and what needs to be done to get people through and to get them basically move like fast forward
Yes,
where they need to
absolutely.
go.
And usually all this happens within 15 business days.
Wow.
From the time they submit their press release, because it has to go through a couple of editorial teams. So it depends, let's say if there is a time lag, somebody has some work come up, and if there is a time lag on your time, then that will add to the timeline. But we usually get it done in good 10 to 15 business days from the time everything's approved.
It's like magic, basically, to get your name from one level to the other, and to pitch your name at a very international and accredited, level. So this has been an amazing interview on this amazing service, citing the coaches, Divya. I hope people realize the importance of this service and take advantage of it, because, as you just mentioned, there are limited seats. And I'm sure we'll be doing more webinars, because I'm sure people will be coming back to us, asking us a lot of questions. Maybe our next webinar is going to be like a FAQ webinar or something to answer their questions on this.
Absolutely.
And so looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Divya, for your time and for your service. And see you in our next interview very soon. I'm so looking forward to it. Thank you, Divya.
Oh, thank you, Doa. It's always a pleasure to have these conversations with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Once or twice, I mean, maybe a couple